Hi, welcome to the StockinetteZombies. I'm Amy, also known as Janitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is a special minisode.
Yes, it is.
And if you're paying attention, you can tell when we recorded said minisodes in conjunction with a normal episode. But this minisode and these minisodans are going to be talking about hats and what hats we would marry, kiss, and kill right now. You would think that marry would be a long-standing commitment, but
you have new staples, I guess. Several marriages.
Yes,
I have a couple here.
As always, go out to the forums, weigh in, tell me that I'm crazy, tell Amy she's crazy. Seriously. Or agree with us, or propose a different marry, kiss, kill. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just love the interaction. That's what podcasting is for me.
It's a lot of fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gotta get.
Who would you marry?
So I have two marries.
You're a polygamist.
I am. So I have knit a fair share of this lovely hat by Meghan. So I think I have said the name of this wrong a couple times. So which one is this?
That is the Measure in Love.
The Measure in Love. I didn't want to get it wrong. So I've knit the Measure in Love a lot of different times in hand spun, not hand spun, lots. And this one has been well loved.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks very loved.
Yeah. And it's hand spun. That's not super wash, so it's got the fuzzies going on. But I don't know. I just really like how it handles whatever I throw at it.
Yep.
As far as yarns go.
Yeah, there's the squishy garter factor.
Yep.
And then if you've got multiple colors going on, you can get that slip stitch pop going on there. And then there's a little bit of lace.
And for me, it's a nice slouchy hat. So I really like how that fits me. But my second marry is the Langsfield.
I swear I didn't make her marry the Measure.
No,
It's a nice hat.
But the Langsfield, it has kind of its origami moment or whatever. And you can knit it with any size yarn, lace if you wanted a really thin hat, or super chunky, because it's just built to do measurements, and then
you try it on and then you decide once it fits around your head to transition to the next part of the pattern.
Exactly. So there's a very large triangle that the long part of the triangle is what goes around your head, and then you go from there.
Yeah, I feel like Martina Bem's patterns are all really like intuitive and kind of like addicting. Like and then personally, when I knit them, I'm like, why didn't I think of this?
No,
like,
right?
This is super intuitive and awesome, and like, how is it that I love her pattern. I really like that. That one has been on my radar for a while, that like, hey, I gotta grab some fingering held double possibly. And
and so my favorite thing to do with this pattern, I've only knit my hand spun with this pattern. So I haven't dared put anything by hand spun into this pattern. But I think it can handle anything, but I just love how it handles the hand spun. Because the hand spun does, usually, whether you plan on it or not, have a gentle striping into it, and this can kind of take that up and play with it, and I don't know, I just really like it. Like, this is another hand spun, and you can kind of see a little bit where it gets these lines of color in it, and I think that this handles that as well, with just the different directions that can get the pattern going.
Ultimately, Amy wants to marry hand-spun hats.
Yes, that's true. That could be the umbrella that goes over these two.
I like tall, dark, and handsome.
Yeah, exactly.
I like hand-spun.
It's my type. My type is hand-spun hats.
Yep. My type is colorwork hats. So I think that if I could marry any hat, it would be the bobble hat. The bobble hat. I have not put pom-poms on, but have thought about it. And because of my propensity to knit blue sweaters and green sweaters, I often have those yarns sitting around. The white is a little more difficult, and then I used kind of a bluish black on this one, but I have multiple of these. Ellie wore this one all over Rhinebeck. Got lots of compliments. I think it was the year that we were there that it was like, they were everywhere. Yeah, everybody was wearing them. But yeah, the color work goes really fast for me, and I like that there's lots of colors involved here. You can make them scrappy. I've seen lots of them where the grass isn't necessarily green and the sky isn't necessarily blue and the stars aren't necessarily white. But yeah, I think that for me, a color work hat is the way to go. That's what I would marry. I really do love my Measure and Loves that I've knit for much of the same reason. And I like my Wonder Wander color work hat as well. Trying not to be like, obviously as a designer, my designs are near and dear to my heart, so I'm trying to choose things to marry that aren't necessarily my designs, but my designs do get knit a lot by me, right? Like I've already kind of got 2 colors paired to knit another Wonder Wander. Just because mentally I know how much yarn goes in it, and it would look really striking with those 2. But yes, bobble hat would be my Mary.
So my kiss right now is the Ermigerd PSL,
which is super fun to say.
Yeah, by Mrs. Shu. I really like just the wave, the texture that's in it.
Yeah.
And
structural lines.
I saw somebody, like Bacon Fairy, I think, had knit one that was kind of in blues and yellows, and it looked like Starry Night, and I was like, oh, I need to do something like that. So I think it would work really well with the things that I have in my stash. And so it is my kiss right now.
Yeah, and you're not necessarily a PSL person, right?
No.
But it's it's the hat itself. It's a good design.
Yes.
My kiss is another color work hat. It is the Asklov, Asklov, and it's a leaf motif that looks they're like interlocking leaves. And the loving of the forestry because of my sister and the color work hat aspect really has me jonesing over that hat. So it's been in my queue or favorited multiple times, and I've been side-eyeing it, dreaming about casting it all. And your kill.
So my kill is just a general kill.
That's my husband.
Yeah. I have yet to knit a colorwork hat that wasn't so oversized. So I don't know what it is about what I'm making that they're so oversized. I mean, it could be
length or width?
Just overall. I had a Wonder Wander that ended up being too big. I knit one that was a really good fit for my son, but the one that I knit for me was way too big. And then I had a couple of hats that were fingering or sport weight that just ended up being enormous. The one that I made for my sister-in-law comes to mind. It's a very slouchy hat on me, and then on her it was even worse. And then I don't know.
So
they
obviously,
just all seem to be big.
Yeah, obviously it's a gauge issue. But just in general, color work is more square. So your rows and your stitch are a lot closer in gauge per inch. So like if you were knitting a sweater, your gauge might be 5 stitches per inch and then 7 or 8 rows per inch. But if you're doing color work, it's often closer to like 5 and 6. Like it's more square, less rectangular. So I don't know how that factors into your large hats.
I think ultimately it's that I need to knit one that is made for a smaller person.
Which is hard for you because you're used to knitting big hats for your big head, right?
Right. So, but I think mainly it's because the way the way that I like color work fabric to look and feel is bigger than the designer's gauge.
Got it. Yeah.
I mean, ultimately that has to be it,
You
because
like the floats to be floaty.
yeah. I mean, and I don't think that when you get things too tight that it really works.
Mm-hmm.
And at least in my tensioning, it doesn't work. So I try really hard to just make a fabric that I would like, and then ultimately I get a hat that's way too big.
Yeah. So you're killing my Mary and my Kiss. I am killing something that's probably not going to be popular amongst folks because it is a very popular hat, but I can't fathom knitting another sockhead hat.
Oh.
So to me, it's if you could slap anything on that fingering weight hat that wasn't just a huge diameter stockinette tube, would be better than, I would rather knit a sweater, I guess, than a huge stockinette tube that goes on your head. And they're very pretty, and because you can really see the colors, and the sock, it's not on your feet, right? Like a sock would be. If you're using a sock weight yarn, you can use those really pretty MCNs, but I would just throw anything, like a skip rib or anything on that hat other than a plain stockinette. So it's not that I'm adverse to a fingering weight hat. I think it's just that plain stockinette. And I know that people love them and they're perfect retreat knitting, but I just have to have something to get me through those eons of stockinette zombie.
I always did the less slouchy version of that anyway, because I mean, how much ever knitting it requires in the pattern as written, too much.
Yeah.
I think I shortened the brim, and then I also shortened the overall hat as well.
So yeah, I think I would. It's not that I'm adverse to a sock hat per se. It's that I just need something to maintain the only saving grace is that I don't have to knit one that matches it.
Yeah, that's right.
Like you do with a sock. If you commit to that stockinette in the the plain stockinette sock, you have to knit one that matches it.
Right.
Or you don't. I just saw somebody out on Instagram that knit the Static Zing one sock as a Static Zing and the other one plain stockinette because they just didn't want to do the second one. And I was like, that's a fun pair. Weird and wonderful, as we were talking about earlier. So yeah, that is our Mary Kiss Kill hat, and join the conversation.
Yep. Bye.
Bye, Oopta.